Welcome back to Style Drops. Zara here again for another great episode of Style Drops. Today's episode is all about owning and understanding the difference between style and taste. Taste is what you like and admire, style is what you create. There is a very critical difference between recognizing beauty and creating it. Many could have good taste, but lack the ability to pull a look together correctly. The need to understand that taste and style are not the same thing matters more than you think. Taste is what happens when you scroll through design content and your eye catches something, and you then save that image because there is just something about it that speaks to you. Or when you walk into a beautifully designed space and you're immediately captured by that room. Style is what happens when you take a desired object that you feel really makes a statement, and you try to arrange it with other items to create a story within a space. Most people have taste, but few people have developed style, and almost nobody understands the difference between the two. Which is why they keep trying to recreate rooms they admire and end up disappointed when it doesn't work. Let's try to break this down even more. Taste is like your internal compass and your preferred aesthetic direction. It's what you respond to. Taste is largely already formed by the time you're paying attention to it. Some of it is neurological, your brain's hardwired responses to pattern, symmetry, color relationships. Some of it is biographical, childhood environments, cultural exposure, personal associations that have coded certain aesthetics as home, or aspiration, or beauty. You didn't choose your taste any more than you chose your native language. You developed it through exposure, experience, and the particular way your nervous system processes visual information. Taste is passive. It receives, it responds, it recognizes. That color makes me feel calm. I'm drawn to soft curved furnishings. Minimalism just feels right to me. These are statements of taste. They require no action. No skill, no understanding of why, just known response. You can have impeccable taste, but never create a single beautiful space. Because taste alone doesn't tell you how to execute. It just tells you what you like and want. Style is taste made visible. It's what you do with those choices, how you arrange the items, how you combine them with other things. Style requires design literacy. Understanding why things work, not just that they look good together, but the language of creating and arranging. Editing, choosing what to include, and more importantly what to exclude. Courage, committing to your choices even when they deviate from formulas. Practice, making decisions, living with them, refining. Style is active. It creates, it decides, it builds. I chose this sofa in this fabric because it provides the visual weight the room needs. I mixed these 3 patterns at different scales to create rhythm without chaos. I left that wall empty because the room needs a place for the eye to rest. A room needs a balance between the art of placement and room to breathe. I arranged the furniture this way to optimize the room's proportions. I edited out 12 items in this space and kept these 5 because they tell the story I want told. These are statements of style. They require understanding, intention, and the willingness to make choices and defend them. You can have undeveloped style even with excellent taste. This is the most common condition amongst many who decorate. Many know what looks good, but just can't seem to bring the space together. Alone the pieces look great, but combined they seem to fall short. Here's where most people live. In the gap between admiring and creating. They have taste, they shop, they place. They can walk into a room and immediately recognize whether it's inviting and well designed. They have opinions about color and texture and arrangement. Their taste is clear. But when they try to create that beauty in their own space, something fails. Something always just feels off. It's almost right but not quite. It looks decorated but not designed. This is not a taste problem. This is a style problem. The gap exists because taste and style require different skills. Taste requires exposure. Look at enough beautiful things, and your preferences are refined. Your eye develops. You start noticing small nuances. Style requires literacy. Understanding scale, proportion, balance, rhythm, contrast, hierarchy. Understanding why that room you loved actually worked, not just that it was functional. Most people never bridge the gap, because they're trying to copy a beautiful room, getting the same sofa, same rug, same art, same arrangement. This fails for 2 reasons. First, your space is not their space. Has different light, different proportions, different architecture elements. What worked there won't necessarily work for your space. Second, you're copying their style instead of developing yours. You're executing their choices in their context, not making your own choices in your own space. Taste can be borrowed, style cannot. Here's the complication nobody discusses. Your taste and your style don't have to match. In fact, they often shouldn't. Example of this is that you have taste for minimalism. Every room you collected on your socials is pared down, neutral, serene. You find minimalist spaces visually stunning. You can articulate why they're beautiful. Your taste is clear. But your style, the way you actually need to live, is different. You collect books. You have inherited objects that matter. You need visual richness to feel at home. Your nervous system doesn't rest in emptiness, it rests in abundance. You have taste for minimalism. Your style is maximalist. Most people, confronted with this gap, try to force their taste onto their life. They purge everything, trying to achieve the minimalism they admire. They live in a beautiful, cold space that makes them anxious. They've decorated for their taste instead of designing for their desired style. The better approach is to extract the principles from what you admire and apply them to how you actually want to live. Minimalism isn't about owning less. It's about intentionality, editing, with restraint. You can apply the same principles to a maximalist space. Curate your abundance, edit your collections. Display with intention rather than accumulation. The result, you're not minimalistic, but your style is influenced by minimalist principles. Rooms that feel both rich and intentional. Abundant without chaos. This is style development. Taking what you admire and translating it through the filter of your actual life. Let's make this concrete. Your taste says, I love that all-white Scandinavian interior I saw on Instagram. Your style asks, do I actually want to live in an all-white space? Does that serve my life, my habits, my climate, my cultural context? My nervous system's needs the calmness and simplicity, then execute it. So extract the principles, light, airiness, restraint, natural materials, and apply them to your own palette and your own lifestyle direction. Maybe you live in a warm climate where white feels clinical. Maybe your cultural background makes saturated color feel like home. Maybe you have young children and white is simply impractical. Take the Scandinavian principles of light and restraint and apply them to warm terracotta walls, natural wood, woven textiles in rich colors, with intentional negative space. Taste says, I love those dark, moody, dramatic interiors in design magazines. Style asks, I work from home and need good light. Does dim rooms make me feel depressed? Is this actually livable for me? If number, don't force it. Extract the principles, contrast drama, sophistication, and apply them differently. Dark walls. In a light-filled room, bold art against neutral walls. Dramatic textiles without overall darkness. Your style translates drama and sophistication without the darkness that doesn't serve you. Understanding the difference between taste and style changes everything. It explains why copying socials fail. You're trying to execute someone else's style in someone else's context. Of course it doesn't work. It explains why you feel stuck. You have taste. You know what you like, but undeveloped style. You don't know how to create it. Your style doesn't have to match your taste. You can admire rooms you'd never want to live in. Having better style is having better design literacy. The ability to translate design principles into choices. To visually clarify your taste is when you start to identify the pattern through your desired pieces. Did you select those items because they're beautiful, or because they're unique and edgy? This helps you to define or develop your own style. Learn design language. Practice making choices and living with them. Edit ruthlessly because taste says I like it, but style says, I prefer this displayed this way. Understand that your style might look completely different from your taste, and that's correct. And to bridge the gap, stop copying outcomes. Start understanding principles of your own good decor. Trust that your own result will look different and should look different, because you made it your own. Taste is common. Millions of people have taste for minimalism, for mid-century modern, for farmhouse, for whatever aesthetic moment we're currently in. Style is rare, because style requires the work of translation, the courage of commitment, the honesty of designing for your actual life instead of your aspirational one. Taste appreciates beauty. Style creates it. Taste is the compass. Style is the map you draw. Taste tells you where you want to go. Style is how you actually get there. You don't need better taste. You need developed style, the literacy to understand why things work, the courage to make choices. The honesty to design for who you actually are instead of who you think you should be. That's what we're teaching here. Not taste, you already have that. Style. The thing that actually transforms spaces. Because the rooms you admire are beautiful, but the room you create with your own style, that's home. Thank you for watching. Until next, my Stylisters. Please remember to like, hype and subscribe, so that this new channel can grow.